up there. Ask them to be quiet, but they're not going to listen. Hello out there, you lovely people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another Gamer's Thoughts from me. And this time I'm going to be talking about something that's a very kind of really important topic, and that's the fact that net neutrality has been repealed and is officially dead at this point from the perspective of the FCC. Yeah? Noah, I'm in the middle of recording. Actually, not even recording. I'm live. That is not something that should be said on the internet. I told them I would be recording, and I would be doing something live, and that's the first thing that he comes to tell me is that his sister peed herself. That's great. Oh man, my kids are wonderful. I'll be right back for, a minute. I gotta go handle that. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with the noise. I've tried to get them to chill out. They're not. You know what? I'll be right back again. Okay, I'm back. Ugh. My kids are wonderful, but their timing is awful. But no, net neutrality it's shut down. FCC voted against it, 3-2 vote. We had the two ladies that were on the board were standing up for what the public wanted, and G.I.G and the other two guys that were there voted against it. So it's going to be repealed. Obviously, there are some other stages it has to go through before it's officially official. I mean, it has to make its way through Congress first. And there's a lawmaker in not a lawmaker, there's a lawyer in New York who's already said he's going to lead like a multi-state lawsuit against the FCC for the repeal of net neutrality, and there are other people working against it right now too. They've all kind of just jumped out the woodwork on Twitter and just said, "Hey, we're going to do what we can to stop this." But what people don't want to realize and don't want to look at when it comes down to this is that the internet. Look at all those TV packages that Comcast, Verizon, and all the other like major cable companies put out when they provide their services. You get a package. Oh, you get the sports package, you get the cinema package, you get the drama package, all these different packages of channels instead of what cable originally was, where you just paid the company to get the additional channels that weren't on regular television. it's now become a thing where you're paying for specific sets of channels or specific types of channels in order to be able to watch the type of content that you want. And yeah, while they charge a lower price per set, when you want multiple sets of channels because you might just be interested in a lot of different things, you get like once you add it up, it becomes pretty hefty. And that's what they're more than likely going to be planning to do with the internet. Yeah, no, they're not going to do it right away. You're probably not going to see like major changes like this until like maybe sometime next year around November. Or no, I'm not, maybe not next year. You probably won't see it until like 2019. I'll give it to 2019, right around the time the Super Bowl is about to happen. That's where all the major changes will start to roll out, and you'll start to see it happening. Where you'll get internet packages like, okay, you have the social media package, you'll have the news package, you'll have the email package, or hey, if you like to game online, you have the gaming package for your data. There's just a lot of different things that they can do, and and they are aware of the different sites and everything that their customers use. They're aware of these things, and they can use that to their advantage. Oh, you want an entertainment package? You with Netflix and YouTube and Daily Motion and all this other stuff? Hey, $10 for that. Oh, you want a social media package with Facebook, G Plus, Twitter, Instagram? $10 for that. There's a problem with that. There's a major problem with that, and it is that one is going to stifle smaller companies. Like it's really going to stifle them because they may not be able to pay to have fast lanes available to them in order to keep business coming in. And if their websites are slowed down because they can't pay to be in a fast lane, that's unfair to them. That's literally killing entrepreneurship for any smaller company. And that sucks. Like, because there are a lot of great small companies that start up in like little areas. Like there are some that are local to me that are awesome that I would love to be able to support, but it's just like, hey, screw you. Like that's basically it. Um, and that's gonna suck. That is gonna suck a lot. And to me, that's what I think is the worst thing is that there are a lot of people who are going to suffer for this. Or if you're one of those types of people who likes to use the internet to look up a lot of different information, like there are a lot of people who like to use the internet in a historic way, where they'll look up like events that have happened or they cross reference stuff back and forth. I myself have done it before. So it's just like one of those things where you can use it. Hey, there you go. You like looking up events of the past. Here's your history package. That to me sounds awful. Like, but that's what they can do. That's what the big companies, the big ISPs will be able to do. And then on top of that, this ruins any chance for like any smaller competition. Like, this really ruins the opportunity for any smaller competition. Like as far as ISPs, like local ISPs. That's going to hurt them because they're not going to have the option of having the best internet, no matter what it is. They're not going to have a chance to fairly compete. I mean, things are already stacked against them anyway. When you have companies like Verizon or Comcast who have monopolies in areas and just like literally rule over areas where you can't get one or the other, but like you're just stuck with the one that's available there. You don't have a choice. And for local ISPs, it's going to make it even more difficult for them. They're going to really suffer, along with the smaller businesses that require internet in order to be able to run. Like, or I know I'm not like everybody's favorite YouTuber, obviously. But think of like your favorite YouTuber and what net neutrality is going to do to them. Like, if they can't upload fast enough, or they can't produce, they can't get their uploads to upload quick enough, like, or they have to pay an extra fee in order to have fast data. And companies will do that. Companies will do that. And it's not actually a new practice. It's actually been going on before. It was going on before Title II, but nobody really talks about it. That's the bad thing. No one really talks about it. And people seem to forget that whole thing with Comcast and Netflix, how Comcast forced Netflix to pay them in order to get their speed back for people to be able to utilize their service. That and it's happened plenty of times before. But then these people will say, "Oh, this never happened. This type of stuff doesn't happen." Like, yes, it does. Just because your corrupt behind doesn't see it or would choose to ignore it doesn't mean that the rest of us don't notice it. So oh gosh, I've been ignoring you guys in the chat. If anybody's been chatting, okay, nobody's been chatting. I got 6 people listening. Nobody's chatting. Okay, I guess you guys are just listening in to me right now. Oh, 7 fewer. I personally, I'm a little worried because if it comes down to it, and net neutrality stays dead, like, and ISPs get to have their way, I might not be able to produce videos anymore at all. I might not be able to do it. It's just, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to just spend tons of money on faster internet, which is not like I'm not paying for a faster internet package as it is, because that's what's kind of needed for doing videos and being able to have like live streams and stuff on YouTube, because you kind of just you need the additional speed. Like, even though you shouldn't actually be charged for something like that, but hey, it's how it's been working. Like, but they're going to break it down even further into these separate little pockets, which is just going to make things horribly worse. Like, and like, if anyone thinks it's going to be immediate, you haven't really been drinking the Kool-Aid if you think that there's going to just be immediate changes. Like, no, it's not going to be immediate. It's not going to be deliberate. It's going to be something super slow. Like, this is how the companies will ease people into it. They're going to do it slowly over time. They're just going to make mentions of little things and say, this can improve things vastly for you, or you can make your package a lot cheaper than your neighbors. You can make your internet package much cheaper than your neighbor's internet package by selecting these sorts of these data packages, or being able to use these websites in order to procure the services that you need for your internet. Like, that's where things are really going to get sketchy. It's going to be bad. And I personally, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want to see that, but I know it's going to harm a lot of people. Like I've said several times already, it's going to cause a lot more harm than any sort of good. And it's just going to fill the pockets of these greedy. I'm trying to keep it clean. It's just going to fill the pockets of these greedy rats that are running these companies. That's the only thing that's going to happen. Is going to fill their wallets fuller. But again, the richer the rich get, the cheaper the money becomes. That's the one thing that they're not understanding. Like, the more rich you are individually, like those CEOs that make billions of dollars, the more rich you guys are, the more worthless the money is. That's the bad thing. That's the bad thing, that it's like they don't care. As long as they're the ones with the money, they don't really care. Like, well, but you're stifling everyone else. You're going to make everyone else drown in this pool so that you can stand on top of it. I know that's a weird metaphor, but it kind of just fits. um, this is a really sucky day for anybody on the internet. Anyone who uses the internet for anything, this is a sucky day. and it's going to suck for a long time unless we can get things overturned. Um, we got SOPA shut down, but this I think is a different beast because there's a person behind the scenes that actually controls everything. Where SOPA, it was just Hollywood kind of trying to run things, but Hollywood doesn't actually control anything, and other than movies and some entertainment. But this is a bad day for the internet, and seeing it taken out of Title II, and I believe it's back down to Title I. Is going to be horrible. It is going to be horrible. And on top of that, they had companies like Comcast using people's names and addresses. Like you guys, anybody who's been following me for a little while, you guys saw that video that I put out where Comcast used my name, an old address, like that I hadn't lived at for like 5, maybe 6 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. It's been a while since I lived there. It's been a while since I've lived there. and they use my name to petition against net neutrality. I'm like, no. And that's really where I hope that lawyer goes, like where he'll hit that too and pull in all the people whose names were falsely used, because they used dead people, living people, missing people. They didn't care. They just took names. As long as it was somebody in their consumer database, they didn't care. They used the name and an address. They didn't give a crap. And I guess they figured if they did it discreetly enough, a lot of people wouldn't figure it out. Unfortunately for them, the internet is full of a lot of people who do actually dig into things. Like maybe that's not the majority, but there's still a lot of people out there who like to dig into things and find the little intricate details. So it sucks for them. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Pokey Kid. Well, I see you've commented. Honestly, I hope that this issue gets tied up in courts and lawsuits before anything is done. The FCC just doesn't care. Maybe we could have tried to move others besides Pi, but it's serious problems. Even for big businesses, little businesses, this is a problem for everyone, but Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, and the other ISPs. Also, that they somehow managed to sue Pi as consequence for not doing his job. Oh, look, every member of the SEC that voted against net neutrality, they got something coming. They have awakened a beast that they don't want. They've got something coming. But before the dust settles and all is said and done, they have some stuff coming. And I don't know how many people who view my channel view the Humanist Report, but there are some videos over there that you might want to check out. Like, I've shared them on Twitter, and I think I shared one on G+ earlier today. Check them out. Like, check out the Humanist Report. They have a lot of videos on this, and a Jeep Pie, and it's just like, dude, we know that you are going to get a fat check from Verizon later on. We know that you're going to, once you leave the FCC, you're going to go to them and have a nice cushy office position and not really actually do anything, but you're just going to collect the paycheck. We already know that this is what's happening. Like, it's too obvious. Even the way that they go about things, it just makes it so super obvious what they're doing. Like, yeah, this is a benefit for you, but once you screw over everyone else, that benefit might not be worth the effort. But hey, I'm just one person, and I can only say so much. I'm to the point where I'm tired of seeing like these bureaucrats, like, and this is a dude that wasn't even actually elected. He was just appointed. Like, and decided, hey, you guys like your internet security? Well, guess what? down the drain with it. And he has such a fake smile too. He's, oh, really? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. Like that's how he's like you can tell he's lying through his teeth. Like he's got a fake smile on his face. Like he's lying to people through his teeth. And like, and this is something that benefited him before, and it's going to work against him now. So I mean, it's just frustrating. It is super frustrating. It is extremely frustrating. Yeah, yeah, the FCC don't care about us little folks. They think we're nothing more than bags of money. Now all of us can afford paying just to stuff the net, surf the net. That's it, stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. Santiago, come on, man. It's such a punchable face. Oh man, now and also think about the gaming industry, like just on the gaming industry side of things. Literally, these companies could say, "Oh, you're a Nintendo gamer? Well, guess what? There's a Nintendo Internet package. You're a Sony gamer? Guess what? There's a Sony Internet package. You're a Microsoft gamer? Oh, guess what? There's a Microsoft Internet package. Oh, you like playing on PC? Well, guess what? There's a PC Internet package." It sounds stupid, but that's how it could go. That's a possibility. And like, and for the game developers who digitally distribute their games, this is going to be awful. This is going to be extremely awful, especially for the indies who are already struggling to get their stuff out. Just for gaming, it's going to be going to be a train wreck. This is worse than a train. It's going to be beyond horrible. Ugh, man. Yeah, G.I.G has a lot of tells. Personally, I find it frustrating when we have to walk around pretending like he doesn't know what he's doing is wrong. It's gonna suck. We're gonna have to pay for pay for Xbox Live 3 times. Think about that. Around this, that's any kind of source providing. So what kind of about things like EA, Origin, or Ubisoft? Oh yeah, there's a possibility that could happen too. Because you know the ISPs will get privy to the more popular companies and like, oh, you like to play Activision games? Well, guess what? There's an Activision internet package that will boost your speeds and make you the best player out there because you won't lag. That's the type of crap I've been thinking about, and that's the type of crap that they could easily do. Hey, you like those Ubisoft games, right? Guess what? That's where we're headed. That's exactly where we're headed. Is if this stays the way it is currently, that's where we're headed. And I hope to be wrong. I want to be completely and utterly wrong, but I know I'm not. This is one of those things I know I'm not. Oh gosh, exclusive rights. Man, Pokey Kid. Yeah, that was another thing I didn't want to think about, but you're right on the money with that. Well, if Verizon gets exclusive rights to Steam, that means anyone who's forced to use Comcast or who has any other internet service provider, they can't access Steam unless they have a Verizon account. Well, guess what? You might not be in an area where Verizon's available. Screw you then, right? Screw you. Or Origin or Uplay from Ubisoft. Or hey, let Comcast get good old games. You can't access good old games unless you're a Comcast customer. That's horrible. That's a horrible idea. But I doubt that they would ignore the opportunity to say, hey, you want access to that website? $2 a month. It might not seem like a lot, but it'll add up over time. Like, oh, you want to go like, or another entertainment site. You want to go on a Rooster Teeth every month? I mean, despite the fact that you still have to pay them money in order to be able to view their content, you're going to pay us an additional $2 to be able to go to that website every month. It's just ridiculous. Oh, you like Crunchyroll? You like Crunchyroll? $4. That's where we're sitting at, and that's what I'm worried about. Oh, Comcast has made it very clear that they're trying to do this stuff. Oh, basically, Trinell, if like, okay, say you get the EA pass with Microsoft and you're paying for Xbox Live, and then Comcast comes in and says, "Oh, you have to give us like an additional $6 a month in order to do your online gaming with Microsoft." That like PokeKid said, that's 3 times you're paying for that stuff. And then on top of that, if you are like, oh, you want a faster package, then $12 a month. That's how it trickles out. That's the problem here. And that's the way they're gonna go. I mean, yeah, it might not specifically do that, but that's an idea. That gives you an example of where their mindset is. And I personally don't want this. But we've got people in places in offices that are now just about getting money out for people who are already wealthy. And I don't understand that. Because actually for a healthy economy, you want your bottom line to be able to be taken care of. You want your people who are your lowest common denominators in order to be able to afford to live. And the way that things are working out with all these tax laws that have been passed and everything that's coming around is just going to make the middle class and poor have less money and be less capable of providing for themselves, be less capable of taking care of themselves. And every little thing that's done, it piles up. Like, this is another way to financially break those who make under $500,000 a year. And I'm not even saying that people who make over $500,000 a year are set, but it's the people that are 500,000 and below that are going to get the most screwed. So, and that's just through all these different things that are being set in place. And this is just one more stepping stone to basically having people be slaves, like, because they'll be chasing the dollar in order to provide for their families and to take care of themselves and not actually be able to do it, where people will need 2 to 3 different incomes in order to live or to be able to have the things that they need that are necessary for them to function or to operate in the world. It's getting worse and worse. It's it's frustrating. It is extremely frustrating, and I am very much pissed off. And there will probably get to a point where this particular live stream, this video here, it'll be blocked. It will be blocked because they'll be speaking out against stuff that they don't want to have spoken out against, and that's a real possibility. That is an extremely real possibility. That's a scary possibility. But I think I'm going to close it off here. Thank you guys for listening and me rambling on. I know some of my thoughts were not coherent. I tried to keep everything in line. Uh, hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, kid, you're right. You give money and breaks to the poor, and they spend it. You give money and tax breaks to the poor. Yeah, they'll spend it everywhere. You give money and breaks to the rich. It's impossible for them to go through so many. It's impossible for them to actually spend it out adequately because it's basically just a hole. It's like a black hole for money. It's like dumping money into a trash bin and never using it. That's exactly what giving to all these tax breaks to rich is. And I'm I'm not against rich people. You're rich. You had to have done something, or had to have had a family member who has done something amazing to get there. I'm not knocking that, but when that's all you think about is getting more money, when you already have tons of money, you're not doing yourself any good. You're not giving yourself a benefit. Like that. Ooh, and I swear, and this is why when Obama was in office and they gave all that money to the banks, it's like, why did you give that money to the banks? The banks were going to see that money anyway. You should have given that money to the people who were going to then put the money in the banks anyhow, and it still would, and it would have boosted the economy. They would have had like I that's a subject for another time, but that still frustrated the hell out of me. Like, no, do not give the money to the damn banks. You give it to the people. The people are going to put their money in the banks anyway because they need a place to save it and to store it, obviously. So the banks were going to see that money no matter what. Either these people are going to spend it out in stores and the stores are going to give it to the banks, or the people are going to put it in the banks themselves and save it. Either way, the banks were going to get the money. So why give it to them directly instead of giving it to the people who, excuse me, about who it could have helped? But yeah. uh, yep. When you give to those at the bottom, the money goes up to the top. You give it to the top, it stays at the top. It doesn't trickle down. Like that trickle down economics bullcrap. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It never worked. Like you give the money to the people who need it. The people that are already up there, they'll get more. Yeah, they don't get it as fast as they want, but they'll get more, and they'll have sustained income. But that just makes sense. But all right, I'm done. I'm going to shut this off. You're welcome, Poker Kid, for the rant space, because dude, like hey, you said some stuff that I repeated in this video in this broadcast, so it's cool. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me, and until the next time, please. I was going to say enjoy your games. I guess enjoy what little time you have left with the internet. Peace out.